Right, now, what was significant about that?
I knew that Jay Shot or John Smith was a close associate of the leader of 4PF, Dominique Lil Baby Jones.
Today, we're diving deep into the 4PF boss himself, Lil Baby, and how what was supposed to be a routine music video shoot may have sparked a full-blown gang war. A war that's already claimed the lives of 2 innocent kids and now has the Atlanta Police Department zeroing in on one of hip-hop's biggest names. This story's got layers like an onion, and we're about to peel back every single one. Let's rewind to May 2024. Lil Baby was filming a music video in Atlanta. Sounds pretty standard, right? Just another shoot for a chart-topping rapper. But according to Atlanta police, this wasn't just any neighborhood. This was reportedly turf claimed by a rival gang known as the Goodfellas, specifically a feared subset called Only My Family, or OMF. Authorities allege that by choosing to film there, Lil Baby wasn't just making art, it was sending a message, a bold, deliberate taunt aimed at his rivals. As one commentator put it, he was deep in enemy territory, and he knew it.
The optics of a multi-millionaire rolling through a neighborhood in his bulletproof truck and his thousand security guards, going to an op neighborhood, filming a music video, antagonizing that community, rolling away in his Lamborghini and his 1,000 security guards, and then leaving that community to destruction. There's something wrong with that optics.
Oh, it was in his op? It wasn't in his neighborhood?
But while the cameras were rolling, chaos erupted. Gunshots rang out. 3 people were hit, but miraculously, all survived. Lil Baby himself wasn't injured, but that moment lit a fuse that would soon explode into something far more deadly, according to police. What happened next was straight out of a war zone. The shooting at the video shoot allegedly infuriated Lil Baby's camp. In retaliation, members of 4PF 4 Pockets Full, Lil Baby's label, and an alleged street gang allegedly hunted down and shot a man named Trevante Turner on June 29, 2024. But the violence didn't stop there, it escalated. Just days later, in what police say was a revenge hit, the Goodfellas gang struck back. On July 2nd, just after midnight, gunmen opened fire at Sparks Apartments on Spark Street SW in Atlanta. Caught in the crossfire were 3 young boys, 13-year-old Layman Freeman, who had just turned 13 that same day, 13-year-old Jackety Davis, and 11-year-old Dantavius Davis, who was shot in the foot but survived. Tragically, both Layman and Jackety succumbed to their injuries. Investigators later uncovered chilling evidence that pointed to the attack being orchestrated from behind Barsby, none other than Keontae Midnight Sanders, a reputed leader of OMF. Police say he used contraband phones and social media from Hancock State Prison to coordinate the deadly assault. Fast forward to February 26, 2025, the Atlanta Police Department held a major press conference revealing the arrest of 7 suspects: Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, Ethan Mobley, Marcus Crawford, Traden Crawford, and Allie Caldwell. And during that press conference, Homicide Commander Major Ralph Wolf dropped a bombshell without naming names. He hinted that one of
was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper who decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
While the police stopped short of naming Lil Baby directly, the dots weren't hard to connect. Channel 2. Action News in Atlanta obtained arrest warrants that confirmed the suspicions authorities were indeed referring to Dominique Jones, better known to the world as Lil Baby. According to the documents, he was allegedly named as the leader of the 4PF gang, and this is where things really start heating up. During court proceedings for the accused Goodfellas gang members, Atlanta gang, investigator Marissa Vivivero took the stand, and what she revealed was explosive. She presented wiretap evidence suggesting that Lil Baby wasn't just passively involved. He was allegedly calling shots. In one intercepted call, a voice claimed that Lil Baby had tickets on people's heads, a chilling phrase implying he had placed bounties on certain individuals. If true, this wasn't just rap beef. This was organized retaliation with deadly consequences.
We just heard somebody say these folks got data on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that?
The unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And you see him understand.
Correct.
What, in your experience, do you know what dates are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
To have them arrested?
Taunt. Or killed.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on people's heads.
Dominique Jones that wanted to have people on.
Correct.
Now hold up, there's more to this story than just the police version. Lil Baby and his legal team have come out swinging, firmly denying any connection to the crimes being pinned on him. His high-powered attorneys, Drew Finling and Marissa Goldberg, didn't mince words. They called the police's allegations complete and total nonsense, arguing that the location for a major music video shoot isn't decided by one person, it's a coordinated effort by a professional team. They also pushed back on the idea that Lil Baby shouldn't be allowed to film in his own hometown, calling it disgraceful to suggest that an artist of his stature can't operate in the city he's helped uplift. Lil Baby himself took to Instagram to shut down the rumors, posting, "Thanks for all the concerns. Please don't be misinformed by fake news, I'm overly good." But the story runs even deeper when you look at Baby's past. Before rap changed his life, Lil Baby did time from around 2014 to 2016 for drug and gun-related charges. When he came home, he hit the ground running, dropping his debut mixtape Perfect Timing in 2017. Since then, he's climbed to the top of the rap game, but the legal troubles never fully stopped. In February 2019, he was arrested in Atlanta for reckless driving and fleeing police. Then, in July 2021, while attending Paris Fashion Week, he was briefly detained for allegedly having cannabis. And most recently, in August 2024, he was arrested in Las Vegas for carrying a concealed weapon without a Nevada permit, despite having a valid Georgia one. But let's be real, this latest case, it's different. We're not talking traffic violations or minor drug charges anymore. The police are trying to tie Lil Baby to a series of violent events that ended with the deaths of 2 innocent children. That's next level serious. And one thing that really stands out is what this one dude said about the situation.
I'm not gonna lie, this is absurdity to heights I've never seen before. They're doing all of this, claiming that a gang war was started because Lil Baby filmed a music video in the ops territory. Now, I'll be real, do I believe that Lil Baby should have been more responsible? Because, like, the optics of you being a multi-millionaire coming to these people's neighborhood in your multi-million-dollar bulletproof trucks, bringing a lot of chaos there and then leaving to go to your mansion, the optics is horrible, bro. But to paint it as this man started a gang war and he has to be held responsible for it, it's kind of like, bro, like, come on.
So that's how this entire situation spiraled from a music video shoot to a chain of tragic events that left 2 young lives lost. But what makes this story even more explosive is that the police aren't just trying to pin these murders directly on Lil Baby. Nope, they're allegedly building something much bigger. A full-blown RICO case against him and his entire 4PF organization. And that's when things get really complicated. If you're not familiar, RICO stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. It's a powerful federal law that was originally created to take down organized crime syndicates, think mob bosses, and cartel leaders. But in recent years, prosecutors have used it to go after alleged street gangs, especially those with ties to the music industry. We saw it happen with Young Thug and the YSL case, and now
They done took an L in there with her. And now they take Lil Baby, who's been very positive. Last I saw, he just bought a strip mall in there, regutting it, create new jobs for the community. I don't hear Lil Baby caught up in anything negative.
But here's where things really heat up. During the court proceedings for the alleged Goodfellas members, Detective Marissa Vivi Verito, an Atlanta gang investigator, took the stand and began laying out what she claims is direct evidence linking Lil Baby to organized gang activity. And if even part of it holds up, it could spell serious trouble. One of the key pieces of evidence she presented involved an Instagram account belonging to Keontae Midnight Sanders, the alleged OMF leader who's already behind bars. According to Vivi Verito, the account contained several direct messages, including one particularly suspicious disappearing message exchanged with someone identified only as Mr. Smith. When
I knew that Jay Shot or John Smith was a close associate of the leader of 4PF, Dominique Lil Baby Jones.
This piece of evidence is crucial because prosecutors are trying to draw a direct line between Lil Baby and individuals involved in alleged gang activity. But the real bombshell came when Detective Vivi Verito introduced wiretap audio tapes that, if accurate, could change everything. According to her testimony, one wiretapped conversation featured an unidentified man referred to only as UNC, speaking with Keontae Midnight Sanders. The topic? Tickets on people's heads. When pressed to clarify, Vivi Verito explained that in gang slang, a ticket means a bounty price put on someone's head to have them harmed or even killed. Then came the moment that shook the courtroom. When asked who UNC and Sanders were allegedly talking about, Vivi Verito responded, "They were saying Dominique Jones, Lil Baby had tickets on a lot of people's heads. If that's true, it's a massive escalation. We're no longer talking about circumstantial ties, we're talking about allegations of targeted violence, possibly ordered hits." But here's where the story takes another turn.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
To me, this is nonsense and BS. Ops being paranoid because they are out here harming people who are close to me. Being paranoid that me, the bagman, me, the rich rapper, may have some money on their heads because they're doing foul things. That's your proof that I'm involved in this gang war. That's your proof that I should be brought in for a RICO. I think it's insane, bro. Right? Now, listen, bro. At this point, bro, we gotta stop using like Burrito the Vixen as a gang expert or as anybody credible, bro. Like, have y'all forgotten like the YSL trial where even the judge got frustrated at Burrito because Burrito was on that stand, bro, spewing nonsense, dodging questions, being incredible, a bag of a bounty on some people's heads. If they know what the ops did to you, they know what you did to the ops. That's the word in the streets. So don't ever celebrate your op getting a RICO. That just means
they coming for you.
Now, if we look at the receipts for Trevante Turner, the police report when he passed away, if you look at the literal police report, they listed 4PF as a criminal street gang with laid claims to the Oakland City neighborhood of Atlanta.
Certainly. Here's a rewritten version of the paragraph. There's also the concern that the police may be constructing a case on weak associations rather than concrete evidence.
The man that was taken to the hospital and succumbed to his injuries, that man was identified by the Fulton medical examiner as 27-year-old Keontae Davis.
Bro, this is power.
What's especially concerning for Lil Baby's fans is that reports suggest a RICO indictment could be imminent. According to one source, Sean Hoover, who manages the Georgia Public Defenders Council specialized unit in gang cases, the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment targeting both the 4PF and OMF factions. Hoover has even stated that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted alongside others in the coming months, but the twists don't stop there. Another unsettling development in this case involves Keontae Davis, who had previously identified a 4PF member, Nathan 4PF Nate Benford, as the shooter in a separate murder case. Davis's testimony led to Benford being sentenced to 40 years in prison, while Davis himself received probation. However, in a shocking turn, Keontae Davis was murdered on April 1st, 2025, just a mile away from the original crime scene, according to reports from the Fulton Medical Examiner. The timing of Davis's death is raising eyebrows. Some are speculating that his murder may be connected to the ongoing investigation into 4PF, with many wondering if the streets are sending a message.
Didn't he get rid of the whole 4PF thing? Like,
all of that. So, but
the label name has changed?
Yes, Lil Baby, we was someplace he knew he wasn't supposed to be. I've never heard Lord say that a person is somewhere they're not supposed to be.
It's almost like a correctional officer type vibe, because normally, like, you're used to the idea of CEOs kind of putting different people from different gangs and different sections of the prison to avoid problems, but this is like they're supposing that Lil Baby should just be respecting the gang lines of the city, which is not something you typically hear police try to enforce.